Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me. So, I wanted to talk with you about another couple from Love is Blind season 2, um, Deepti and Shake. So, I'm sure they might be the most talked about couple on the show. Um, they, if they, if they're not, then maybe it's Kyle and Shayna. But they had some pretty interesting couples on this show. So I've spoken about Ayana and Jarrett, Natalie and Shane, and also have talked about Shayna and Kyle. And so now I'm talking about Shake and Deepti. So I think one of the ways that these two are twins is that both of them have talked about, um, at least from what I could see, their issues like body image issues and things like that. And so even though Shake had the experience that he had in the past, he came to the realization himself, it seems like, um, he was one of those people that was looking at the woman that could potentially be his partner to see if she fit certain standards. And I think, if I can get into a little bit of trauma stuff, I think for a lot of people who have experienced trauma, um, they don't want to be the victim again. They don't want to be the person who's pointed out and laughed at again, or, bullied or abused again. And so I think a lot of those people end up doing the same thing to other people that was done to them. So unfortunately, this might be the case with Shake. And I think it's probably the same experience with a lot of people besides him, that they're doing the very same thing that they would say other people are doing to them. And so I've talked about this mirror work before, and I think it's so amazing if people could really grasp it and really use it the way it can be used to make things better, to grow, to keep doing the spiritual work, to keep improving themselves. Um, but I think really to take time to listen to the part of himself, Shake, to really take time would be great for him to really look at, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And it sounds like there are also some wounds that he has that have not been healed. And Deepti was very open about things that she'd experienced and her insecurities and things too, from what it sounds like. Um, I think with Kyle and Shayna, it was the same thing that I said. Shayna, she tried to find a more tactful way to say it than Shake did, I think. Um, he ended up saying that he wasn't really physically attracted to Deepti, that she reminded him of his aunt. And it's interesting because in the very beginning, I don't know if it was just, a, an attempt to just hide something. I'm not, it could have been a lot of things, but when he first saw her, he just kept saying, "You're so beautiful." And I think what he might see in himself might be the thing that he fears the most that he'll see in someone else, which is that they're overweight, that they're, what he considers to be undesirable. I don't know if when he looks in the mirror, he sees who he really is, but I think it would be, um, I think he had to face one of his deepest fears, which was rejection from Deepti. And I think he might have been seeking it out Because as a person who is potentially a twin flame, um, I think he and other people seek out those experiences that would scare them the most, that would push them, can be polarizing experience, but they would push them to grow the most. So I think a rejection from someone would be something that would push him to grow the most, because then he could see, oh no, I face this, like if we're talking about the ego, I faced this ego death and I still didn't die. I'm still physically alive. I'm still okay. And I don't know if he's still healing from this experience. I don't think that he has yet. I think it might still be fresh for him and a lot of other people, but he was trying, I think, to be honest with, a lot of people would say he wasn't very tactful in doing it. But I think along the same lines as Shayna, he was trying to say something that would be very difficult for a lot of people to say. And I think if he would have tried to take the approach that Shayna did and say, you know, it's this or it's that or it's something else, then I think he might have still gotten a lot of flack for, you know, just not coming right out and saying that he wasn't attracted to her. So I think I'm giving Shake credit for speaking truth. I think, unfortunately, he could have found a way. I think it's unfortunate that he didn't find a more tactful way to say it. And also, I think it would have been great to say it to her face, just to come out and say, um, it's, you know, the thing with physical attraction. But I think he also did say it to her at dinner. But I think the stark contrast between their first meeting and then what he said at that dinner kind of threw things off. Dare I say, would shake things up. So for Deepti, I give her a whole lot of credit for stepping up to the plate and saying, no, sir, no, thank you. I will not be marrying you. And I think, again, like I said, Shake faced one of his deepest fears, probably, but I also think that Deepti had to face one of her deepest fears, which is rejection. But I think um, she stood up to it, and I think it's still something that she's gonna have to heal from as well. Um, because even though she did stand up for herself and she's getting a lot of support from a lot of people, um, and Shake is getting, uh, I don't even know the best word to describe it. He is getting the business for what he did. But I think it can be one of those formative experiences for him if he'll let it, to see, you know, yes, it's wrong. Yes, you know, to insult people, to say bad stuff about people behind their backs is worse than to say it to their face. But I think there's a tactful way that a person can say it to a person's face. Um, and again, like I said, he did say it at the dinner. I think um, it's kind of tough. These situations are really tough. I would say he's now the bad guy, I guess. But being honest, I don't think is bad. I think there's a way that one can do it. And like I said, I mean, at the dinner, he tried to find a tactful way, so I'm going to give him credit for that. I would say, like I said, also, though, that I'm giving Deepti credit for standing up and saying no at the wedding. And I think she delivered a blow to him, but I think it was something that he needed. I think it was also something that she needed. So if the two of them, if I think these couples, and I think I have a couple more um, pairs to do, but I think these couples, if they really embrace these experiences with each other, that they can get a lot out of it and grow. I think that it's just, first letting all the public, you know, public conversations about it die down so that they can really digest it and use these experiences. So thank you again for joining me. I'm looking forward to doing the next videos, but I'm so excited to hear from you as well. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I always forget to say that because I'm so into the topics that I'm doing. But thank you again, and I will see you again next time. Okay, bye.